You are watching Newsroom Newsbreak. I'm Parmeshwar Bava. Heavy rain continued to batter Himachal Pradesh, leading to the deaths of 30 people and causing damage worth around 4,000 crore rupees. Ankit Tyagi brings us live updates from Himachal Pradesh's Mandi, while Vedant Agarwal will be reporting live from Punjab's Mohali, where some areas have had no water, no electricity and no food for about 2 days. Parimal Kumar, meanwhile, is tracking the latest in Delhi as the Yamuna River's water level crosses the danger mark. All this and more lined up for you. Let's begin with the headlines. 30 people have died in the monsoon devastation in Himachal Pradesh. Heavy rain continues in HP in Punjab over the next 48 hours is what the forecast says. Meanwhile, in Delhi, the Yamuna River breaches the danger level mark. In Punjab, residents swim for essentials like bread and butter in this Mohali society. Punjab red alert is on for 4 cities currently. There's heavy rain expected in 8 areas. Meanwhile, in Haryana, heavy rain alert is on for 10 cities. Meanwhile, Uttarakhand is also dealing with the impact of bad weather with heavy rain in Uttarkashi and Chamoli. Landslides have been reported in many parts of the state and bridges have been washed away is what we're being told. Pilgrim vehicles have been buried under debris in Uttarkashi. West Bengal Panchayat polls counting is currently underway. This as 20 people have died in the Panchayat poll violence in 4 days. The West Bengal governor met Amit Shah in Delhi to brief him about the situation last evening. Six people have died as a school bus and car collide in Ghaziabad. The school bus was on the wrong side of the Delhi-Meerut highway. A big focus this morning, 30 people have died in the monsoon devastation in Himachal Pradesh as the state crossed a 50-year rainfall record on Sunday. But as we've been showing you, roads, bridges, houses and even parts of national highways have been washed away as a result of this extremely heavy rainfall since Friday. Now, the devastation, unfortunately, is not ending for now, as heavy rainfall is forecast for the next 48 hours in Sirmaur, Solan, Shimla, Mandi, Kullu, Lahaul Spiti as well as Kinnaur today. Meanwhile, moderate to high risk of flash floods along watershed and other water channels in the districts of Bilaspur, Hamirpur, Kangra, Lahaul Spiti, Kinnaur, Chamba, Shimla, Mandi, Kullu and Sirmaur have been sounded. But as most roads leading to Himachal Pradesh have been blocked, the local authorities have appealed to tourists to not visit the state for the next couple of days. But earlier this morning, the sun was out and in Mandi, the situation seems to have improved since the last 24 hours. My colleague Ankit Tyagi is there. He sent us this report.
The situation, at least this morning, has slightly gone better. It has this morning has come with little hope. The sun is out. Which also means that post the massive rainfall, especially in the area of Mandi going to Kullu and then over to Manali, there will be increased risk of landslides. But I'm standing right at the banks of the river Beas here in Mandi. Yesterday we saw the river in full spate, though the currents are quite rapid at this moment, but not the same intensity and the ferocity that we witnessed yesterday. I also want to show you, and we've been talking about this time and again, how the construction on the banks of the river has caused or has added to this the misery as far as the people of Himachal Pradesh are concerned. If you could see there, a tunnel was being built and you would see how the entire the entire front of that mountain has in fact collapsed. The landslide which has gone right into the river. Now this forces the river not only to carry additional debris but also decreases the space in which the river is flowing, and that is why the river in fact when it's in full ferocity does change its course and enter the houses in the low-lying areas on the bank of the river. The additional advisory today, orange alert in Mandi and other places, has already been sounded, though the expectation is that today there is going to be rain which is not going to be of the same intensity moderate to medium intensity rain is expected in the next couple of hours in Mandi, Solan and other districts in Shimla, specifically Sirmaur, Shimla. These are the districts where heavy and very heavy rainfall has been predicted by the Met Department. But the important thing at this moment for the Himachal Pradesh police and the administration is to ensure that there is no further loss of life. 29 people out of the 30, those who have died, have been identified. There is one unidentified body as well, but unfortunately 30 people have lost their lives due to landslides and the flash flooding in many parts of the state. Specifically speaking about the upper reaches, Laul Spiti and over Manali, there has been fresh snowfall as well. There were few tourists, those who were stranded. 300 have been rescued from the Laul Spiti area. Now coming back to Mandi, where we saw those dramatic visuals of the temple almost being submerged, that situation still continues. In fact, the administration says that by 3 p.m. they are expecting that the worst possibly for today would be over if there is no new development. And from 12th onwards, the intensity of the rainfall is going to decrease. What we are also trying to do, we are trying to reach and make our way to Pando, which is one of the worst hit areas. Day before, you saw those visuals of a market being completely inundated with massive debris, the slush, the mud and massive boulders along with the trees which had completely inundated that market. We are trying to make our way there. The roads still are cut off, specifically from till Bilaspur. Now, of course, the situation is getting slightly better. But yesterday, when we started from the national capital on our way towards Mandi, a route that would have possibly taken me about 7 hours from Delhi, almost ended up taking 11 because of the massive rainfall and the flooding situation that we saw in Punjab, where you are at this moment. Specifically speaking about the Roopnagar Ropar area, where most of the routes, in fact, were inundated. The villages were inundated. And to relieve water from their fields, what the villagers did, they dug out the main highways and the roads, linking roads. So what it did was to completely, take away or reduce the connectivity of the highway to which was coming towards, in fact, Himachal Pradesh. So that is why there were diversions. And village after village, we saw the same story with massive rainfall, which also is predicted again today in that area. It is going to be misery in Punjab, heavy rainfall in Haryana as well. But as soon as we entered Himachal Pradesh and we started moving upwards from Kiratpur, the other difficulty was that the main highway, the 4-lane expressway which is being constructed or largely has been made till Manali, in many parts that small linking bridges have washed away or the road has completely been washed away. That is why you had to go on to the old highway, the national highway, and that is in a very bad situation, which added to the misery as far as the travelers are concerned.
Ankit Tyagi there reporting from Himachal Pradesh's Mandi, where luckily this morning the situation has improved in comparison to yesterday. But in terms of the rain surplus, we are seeing a 1,269% surplus in Shimla since it rained over 87 mm. In Lahaul Spiti, that surplus was 1,778%. Meanwhile, 10 districts have had a 1,000% surplus in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Take a look at this report.
Houses crashing down. No match for the swollen Bias River's fury in Manali. In Mandi, the Panchvaktra temple completely submerged. Collapsed and broken roads across the state, highlighting the extent of destruction as Himachal Pradesh broke a 50-year rainfall record over the weekend. With flash floods and landslides across districts, while normal life has been completely disrupted.
We are trying hard to restore the electricity, to restore the water supply. In between the situation, the tourists जो है वो सारे अभी हमारे safe है. and now situation is under control. Our every minister is in every district are in looking the relief work.
The local administration also says that over 500 tourists are stranded across the state as cars and roads have been washed away and several key highways have been blocked.
नंबर ऑफ रोड्स जो लिया गया है वो 1300 से ऊपर बता रहे हैं, परंतु जो मेजर रोड्स हैं जैसे हमारे नेशनल हाईवेज हैं और जो हमारे मेजर डिस्ट्रिक्ट रोड्स हैं वो कम है. अब ये तो लिंक रोड्स हैं, अगर कहीं एक स्लिप भी आ गया तो उसको भी हम काउंट में लेते हैं जब तक वो खुलेगा नहीं.
But even with incessant rainfall and devastation, the worst is not over yet, as the Met Department has predicted heavy rainfall for the remaining week. With Ankit Tyagi in Himachal Pradesh, Priyanshi Sharma for NDTV.
Heavy rain across North India has brought the region to its knees, causing widespread damage and claiming more than 37 lives over the past 3 days. In Delhi now, the Yamuna, which breached the danger mark of 205.3 meters late last evening, shot up to 206.32 this morning as Haryana released more water into the river from the Hathni Kund barrage. Tanushree Pandey is tracking all the latest developments as far as the National Capital Region is concerned. She joins us live at the moment. Tanushree, now headlines this morning claim that Delhi is a meter away from a flood, but the Aam Aadmi Party chief and Delhi Chief Minister yesterday said that Delhi will not have to deal with a flood situation at all this season.
Well, Parmeshwar, if we talk about the facts on the ground, as you rightly said, that heavy rains across North India has brought the entire region to its knees, and Delhi is literally a meter away from the flood. We are right now in front of the Yamuna, and as you can see, this is the river which breached the danger mark of 205.33 meters last evening and shot up to 206.32 this morning as Haryana released more water into the river from the Hathni Kund barrage. Now, we have been speaking to the officials, and they are saying that the river has already breached the danger mark earlier than expected. With Haryana releasing more water today, the Yamuna is going to swell further in the next 24 hours. At least for now, it's not raining, but if it continues to rain and when Haryana releasing more water, the river is definitely going to swell further. Now, the high flood level for the Yamuna River in the national capital is 207.49. Right now, it's shot up to 206.32. So literally, if we go by the facts, it's a meter away from flood, and the authorities have also started evacuating people from the low-lying areas that are considered vulnerable to flooding. They will be shifted to relief camps and community centers in various parts of the city. Now, the Delhi government has set up 16 control rooms to monitor the flood-prone areas and the water level of the Yamuna. And Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has also announced a slew of measures to tackle the problem of waterlogging in many areas in the national capital, which are low-lying areas. Basically, engines have been put up, water engines have been put up so that water can be sucked out from the low-lying areas. We also have been seeing that many areas which are the slum areas near Yamuna River, they have started to already experience waterlogging into their houses. So those people have been evacuated with the help of NDRF teams, with the help of authorities who have been working 24/7 on the ground to keep a check that no untoward situation happen. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal also took a press conference yesterday, and he very categorically said that this is Yamuna is going to breach the danger mark of 206, and the flood mark of Yamuna is 207, and that is in all likelihood is going to happen if the rain continues, because Haryana has started to release water from the Hathni Kund barrage, and it is going to do so in the next 24 hours. So definitely the river is going to swell up. That's why all the people, you see all those areas, Parmeshwar, and those are the houses, and most of them also, built on illegal land. So those are the houses which are near Yamuna, and those are the people who have been asked to stay absolutely cautious. Many slums in those areas have already started to experience waterlogging, but authorities are on the ground. As of now, the situation is under control. All the houses which are experiencing waterlogging, those people have been evacuated and brought to the nearest relief shelter, to the nearest relief camp. But if the rain continues to happen and if Haryana releases more water, this danger mark is going to go up to 207.66, which is the flood level of the Yamuna, and then the situation will become worrisome. But as of now, both the Delhi government and the authorities from the central are on the ground, keeping a very close eye on the danger level of the Yamuna river. Back to you.
Tanushree, as always, thank you so much for joining us with the latest from Ground Zero. My colleague Tanushree Pandey there reporting from the banks of the Yamuna. Well, let's hope that it does not breach that level, the 207.66 level that she has crucially mentioned. Meanwhile, the next worry seems to be Uttarakhand, with heavy to very heavy rainfall predicted in the state over the next couple of days. Schools have been shut in the state, but there's also a red alert warning for tomorrow, for Nainital, for Almora and Pithoragarh as well. If we talk about Champawat and Udham Singh Nagar, extremely heavy rain is on the radar on Wednesday for these areas as well. But heavy rain has been logged in Uttarkashi and Chamoli today. In fact, there are reports of landslides in many parts of Uttarakhand, with some reports of bridges being washed away. These are live shots we're getting you from Uttarakhand's Chamoli, where we are being told that there was heavy rain this morning. Heavy rain is also on the forecast for Uttarkashi and Chamoli in the next couple of days. We're also getting you live visuals from Vikas Nagar in Dehradun. You remember Dehradun's also on the radar to receive rain. But frightening images of the chaos, muddy waters gushing into residential areas have emerged from different parts of North India, including Himachal Pradesh, from Punjab, and now we're also seeing Uttarakhand going through the same. Let's get you the visuals from last night. These are visuals that we've accessed from last night in Uttarkashi. Do remember that the forecast says there is heavy rain expected in Champawat, in Udham Singh Nagar, Nainital, Almora and Pithoragarh as far as Uttarakhand is concerned. The next worry is Uttarakhand, but as a precautionary measure, schools have been shut and all SOPs are in place by the state administration there.
ये मौसम आते ही हम लोग पूरे अलर्ट मोड में होते हैं। सभी जिलाधिकारियों को, सभी हमारे आपदा प्रबंधन से लगे हुए लोगों को, जितने भी अधिकारीगण, कर्मचारीगण जो भी इस काम को कर रहे हैं, उन सभी को अलर्ट मोड में रहने के लिए कहा है। और किसी भी स्थिति से निपटने के लिए जो हमारी अन्य संस्थाएं काम कर रही हैं, इसमें NDRF है, SDRF है, ITBP के लोग हैं, सेना के लोग हैं, हमारा PWD डिपार्टमेंट है, सभी एक दूसरे से तारतम्य करते हुए, समन्वय बनाते हुए जो भी स्थिति आएगी उस स्थिति का सामना करेंगे, उस स्थिति में लोगों को सहायता करेंगे।
Now, while Himachal Pradesh has been the worst hit, and we are getting to know that on the forecast, Uttarakhand seems to be dealing with the impact as well. Punjab and Haryana experienced above normal heavy rainfall and even flooding in low-lying areas. In a housing society in Mohali's Dera Bassi, residents had to resort to swimming to get essentials like milk and bread. Just take a look at these visuals from Dera Bassi in Punjab. This society has witnessed waist and knee-deep water for a few days now. In fact, this morning was the first time that a submersible pump reached the society to drain out the water. Well, locals say that it's poor construction that's to blame and poor drainage systems. But my colleague Vedant is reporting from Punjab's Mohali. He sent us this ground report.
In the drowning Tri-City area, unprecedented scenes. Residents being rescued in boats, people wading through neck-deep water, and vehicles being swept away. In the region's worst floods in nearly a decade. In Haryana's Panchkula, a road split right across. In Ambala's Mulana village, a miracle rescue, as Haryana received 40% of its July quota of rain in just 24 hours. And Punjab received nearly 70% of its July rain quota in just 2 days. Central and state rescue teams and even the Indian Army brought in to carry out evacuations of people living in low-lying areas of Dera Bassi, Patiala, Rochar and Mohali, with the Satluj, Beas and Ghaggar rivers flowing above the danger levels. With Punjab on alert, schools across the state will be shut till the 13th of July.
माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी से कल बात हुई थी फ़ोन पर, तो पंजाब के बाढ़ की स्थिति के बारे में उन्होंने पूछा और हमने सब कुछ बताया कि अभी स्थिति जो है वो कंट्रोल में है, लेकिन अगर चाहिए होगा तो हम आपको बता देंगे, अवगत करा देंगे.
While life in urban areas has been completely thrown out of gear, thousands of acres of agricultural land with standing paddy crop is under 2 feet water. This as water levels in dams on the Beas River rose by several feet in a single day. Neighbouring Haryana meanwhile, a civic mess, as the rain situation is expected to get worse. Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar held meetings to take stock of the situation in his state.
Dramatic rescue operations here in the Dera Bassi area of Punjab. People who have been trapped in their houses for the past 50 hours are now being rescued by the NDRF teams. There's no food supply, no electricity supply here currently. There you can see people actually swimming in the waist deep water. In fact, there are vehicles submerged. There you can see how people are actually supplying food and water to those people. Several hundreds of them who are actually trapped in their apartments currently. And in fact, just now we saw how a family in which there was a medical emergency was rescued by the NDRF teams. Absolutely unprecedented scenes here in the Dera Bassi area of Punjab, this residential complex, and several such residential complexes inundated because of the incessant rainfall. And now what is unfolding really here is a humanitarian crisis. In Dera Bassi with camera person Sushil Rathi, Vedant for NDTV.
Well, let's get you fresh visuals of the Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena, who is currently in Yamuna Bazaar in Old Delhi, taking stock of the current situation. As we are covering in Delhi, the Yamuna, which breached the danger mark of 205.33 meters late last evening, shot up this morning to 206.32 as Haryana released more water into the river from the Hathni Kund barrage. Now, the tricky point is that if this level breaches the 207.6 mark, there's trouble for Delhi.
वो नहीं होती है. जो ड्रेन वाटर को हार्वेस्ट करना चाहिए या उसको प्रॉपर ट्रीट करना चाहिए, वो नहीं हो रहा है. सालों साल से जो नहीं हुआ है, उसकी वजह से हर वक्त वाटर लॉगिंग होती है. यमुना की डिसिल्टिंग रेगुलर होनी चाहिए, जिससे कि उसकी वाटर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी बढ़े. नजफगढ़ ड्रेन की डिसिल्टिंग रेगुलर होनी चाहिए, जिसकी वजह से उसकी वाटर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी बढ़े. ये सब चीजें न होने की वजह से आज दिल्ली के अंदर जगह जगह पर पानी भरा हुआ है. ये दुखद है और मेरी कोशिश होगी कि इन सब चीजों पर ध्यान दिया जाए, जिससे कि हर साल जो दिल्ली की जनता को ये तकलीफें झेलनी पड़ती उनना चाहिए.
सरकार मुख्यमंत्री का ये कहना है कि पहले कभी इतनी बारिश नहीं हुई, इसलिए तैयारी नहीं थी इस तरह की, उनका ये कहना है.
नेचर कभी कोई चीज बता कर नहीं आता है, हमें उसके लिए तैयार रहने की जरूरत होती है.
आगे क्या कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं कि टेस्ट नहीं लगेगा.
Well, there you just heard from the Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena, who said desilting the Yamuna is crucial. The Lieutenant Governor of Delhi also said he is going to try and ensure these issues are attended to as soon as possible. But the Met Department has issued warnings meanwhile for Punjab, for Himachal Pradesh, for Haryana. There's warnings in place for Gujarat and East Rajasthan as well. Let's go across to my colleague Divya Vadva for the latest weather forecast.
Thank you so much, Parmeshwar. Let's get you a check. As far as Himachal Pradesh is concerned, firstly, a red alert has been issued for very heavy rainfall in certain districts, not for the state, but certain areas of Himachal Pradesh, which includes Solan, Shimla, Simur, Kullu, Mandi, as well as Kinnoor and Lahore Spiti for the next 24 hours. Additionally, an orange alert has been sounded off for Una, for Hamirpur, Kangra and Chamba. A flash flood warning has been issued for Mandi, Kinnoor, as well as Lahore Spiti for the next 24 hours. When we talk about the last 24 hours in Lahore Spiti, 1,778% surplus has been noted. When we talk about Shimla, the surplus has been 1,269%. In 10 districts of Himachal Pradesh, the surplus has been above 1,000%. 1,000% surplus from the amount it should have rained in a single day. When we take into account in Samur, it's rained about 129 millimeters, in Kufri 66.5, Shimla 84, Narkanda 62.5, in Rampur 30 millimeters, in Bilas Bilaspur 20, in Solan 42.5. But the heaviest amount of rainfall that we've seen has been in Uttarakhand's Haridwar, 215.5 millimeters. In Dehradun, 117 millimeters. In Uttarkashi, 98 millimeters. The writing has been on the ball as far as the warning signs are concerned, but those warning signs haven't been picked up. We've seen extreme weather conditions since 2013. Such events have happened in Kashmir, in Chennai, in Bengaluru, also in Mumbai, Pune, Gurugram, also in Kerala, Assam and Bihar. But no lessons seem to have been learned so far when we take into account that orange category warning that's been sounded off. So Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the weather system is moving towards Uttarakhand, and that is where an orange category warning has been sounded. Tomorrow in areas of Uttarakhand, which also includes Nainital and Pithoragarh, a red alert warning has been issued for those areas. So very heavy showers will continue in the next 24 hours, especially in areas of Himachal Pradesh, and thereafter there is some relief. As far as Uttarakhand is concerned, the worst isn't over, the worst is yet to come, and that is going to be tomorrow. From there, the weather system will move towards the state of Uttar Pradesh and going into Bihar. But when we talk about the national capital, moderate to light showers are expected. That's what the Met Office is saying in the entire region of Delhi. When we talk about the NCR region, whether it's Ghaziabad, Noida, Greater Noida, as well as going to, parts of Meerut and adjoining areas also, whether it's Muzaffarnagar, whether it's also parts of Hathras, all those areas will only see light rain or drizzle coming in over the next 2 hours. But here in the national capital in Delhi, whether it's South Delhi, Central Delhi, North Delhi, South Delhi, all the areas will see moderate to light rain coming in. So the weather system is continuing to impact Delhi and moving towards Uttar Pradesh, and thereon it's going to be impacting Bihar as well.
As always, Divya, thank you so much for that update. We will, of course, revert to you for regular weather forecast updates.